These days it can be a little bit difficult to stay in a peaceful state with news and social media being full of fear and kind of these worst case scenarios, and they are presenting us these images and videos and basically everything of the negative things that is happening in the world, and rarely you see actually this very positive news of the amazing things are happening. You start to feel automatically a little bit more anxious and less peaceful.
And why is it important to take care of yourself? Well, because if you don't, you will start to lose your mental health and become more anxious and depressed, and this will all affect your daily tasks.
Here are 10 tips for you so you can start taking care of yourself, your mental health, and start living in a peaceful state.
Welcome to Sonica and Journey.
If you're new here.
And welcome back if you are not.
I'm Siete.
And I'm Ciao.
Let's go straight in. Tip number 1 is to keep the same habits and routines. I think the routines, the daily routines that we have, the things that we do daily, they are like kind of the cornerstones of our mental health and well-being, kind of the balance of our mind. Because if we wouldn't have this, everything would be kind of chaotic. If there wouldn't be any order, any organization in your daily life, everything would change from a day to another. And therefore it's very important that if you have some routines, for example, that you wake up in the same time in the morning, or what you do first in the morning, if you have some sort of morning routine, that you keep doing those even though things would get difficult and uncertain, because then it's much easier for your mind. It kind of gives this little bit of certainty, balance, comfort for your mind that not everything has changed. There are still these little things that keep kind of your life together. So make sure to keep these little things that you have in your daily life, even when things would get a little bit more difficult.
Tip number 2, stop reading news multiple times a day. Well, the first reason, as we mentioned at the start of this video, is that mostly the news are about the worst case scenarios and not about positive things. And this will affect us inevitably a little bit in a negative direction, especially when I feel that there's uncertain times and some balance is missing in my life. I try actually to avoid to read news because they would just add more anxiety and more thoughts and more overthinking to my daily life. And I don't do it because I don't care what is happening in the world right now, but I do it as a self form of protection that would help me to keep the safe space in my headspace.
You still cannot like close yourself to your own bubble that nothing is happening in the world. Like, it's important to stay updated, but also be aware of this, that there are good things happening all the time, even though they wouldn't be reported or shown in social media, news, media in general. Tip number 3 is to listen to peaceful or uplifting music. And this is actually what I did or do now when I read the news. There are some things happening that are not so nice, and the news might not always be nice, but still I want to know, as mentioned before. So what I do is that I put peaceful music or uplifting music behind on the background while I read. And as we know from, for example, horror movies or some, I don't know, romantic movies, music makes a huge difference.
Well, but that's the history of cinema. I mean, soundtrack is everything.
So when you want to read news and you put some nice music behind it, it doesn't sound so bad anymore. It's more relaxing, and I'm peaceful when I read. I cannot take it as that the world is ending. I'm taking it more as, okay, I need to be aware of these things, but everything is fine. So uplifting music, peaceful music, definitely do those daily.
Tip number 4, stay connected to your loved ones. During uncertain times, it's very important that you keep close to yourself all the people that help you to create that mental safety. In this case can be, of course, like your friends or your family or whoever is your loved ones.
Even a pet.
Yeah, pets, they're
family members.
Alright. it is important to surround yourself with people who help you to stay present, but as well that can show some emotional support.
And it doesn't mean that you need to always meet or go to their house. You can of course just have a call, video call, normal call, or even text. It's just the most important thing is that you let them know that you are there for them and they are there for you. Tip number 5 is write down one thing every morning that you are grateful for. I started doing this a few months ago and it has made a huge difference because every morning that's the first task that I do. Before starting anything, work or scrolling my phone, anything, I write down what am I grateful for this morning. And
what were you grateful for this morning?
This morning I was grateful for starting a new diet, starting to eat healthier, that we have a new humidifier in our house for our plants, and that yesterday we kind of reorganized our apartment and it looks great. I'm grateful for those things. I write 3, but I think writing even 1, starting from 1, is excellent thing. You start really feeling this gratitude, feeling good every morning and not immediately worrying about I don't know, the future. And a lot of good things are happening and it's very good if you can write down and feel those things and not just let them pass without actually realizing that, my life is not that bad after all. Tip number 6 is to write down what you want to feel today. And of course you can write this at the same time that you write the thing that you're grateful for, so every morning. This is not something that will happen for sure. So even though you would write that today I want to feel energetic, or today I want to feel peaceful. It doesn't always happen, but the possibility of it happening becomes much, much greater because you wrote it down and you really thought about that. What do I want to feel today?
This process is called setting intention.
Yeah.
And when you set an intention, as well because of law of attraction, you are most likely that to happen.
And I have noticed that this has helped me so much when I have felt kind of down, the morning hasn't been the best. I have wrote down, for example, today I want to feel energetic or productive. It took some time for it to happen, but in the end, if I went in the night to check, well, what did I want to feel? It was there, even though the morning would have been not so nice. So it's...
Trust the process.
Exactly.
Tip number 7, keep your home organized. As Eva mentioned before, we reorganized the entire living room, and this helps a lot because home is the place we live in, and by default is the safest place we have. So it is kind of as well the shelter during the uncertain time where we want to be alone and we have to be with ourselves and process things and search for peacefulness. And that's why keeping your home organized is one of the key factors that would help you to achieve that.
Yeah, like if your home would be like a mess, like a chaos, I think that kind of transforms to your mind, to your mood, how it is. But if you keep your home tidy, it declutters your mind as well while you do that.
Tip number 8, help others.
During difficult or uncertain times, we usually tend to think of ourselves, and that's completely normal. We are all humans. But if you can start to think of others, how you can help or serve them, it's kind of shift in your mindset, that you stop thinking about all the worries that you have and you can transform that energy to how you can help others. That's an amazing way to kind of also take care of yourself, because helping others will make you feel good, but also it can create a huge impact on others. So this can be to anybody, to family, friends, neighbors, or even to completely strangers. You can do little gestures as holding the door or just giving a little smile to them. It can make a huge impact because you never know what other people are also going through. Tip number 9, eat healthy foods. Well, as mentioned before, what I wrote down to my journal this morning, we started to eat healthier now, and that is exactly because we were feeling anxious. It happens many times that when we feel, for example, anxiety.
I want sugar.
Yeah.
Because of course sugar gives you this nice hype and you have the sugar high and gives you the rush with the dopamine and makes you feel happy for a moment. And what do you want when you feel anxious?
It's a little bit strange. I just told you this weekend that I feel a little bit anxious. I need to eat a lot of greens. And you were like, what? Yeah, I don't know where did that come from. Usually for me it's chocolates as well. So.
Yeah. But actually eating healthy helps a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't, because when you eat this junk food, a lot of sugar, there's the high.
And there's a lot.
So,
And I am very experienced with that.
And-
You are too, through me.
yes. And then you feel even worse. So take care of your body and your mind by eating healthy foods.
Tip number 10. Accept the slowness. With this we mean that it's not that you have to be productive all the time. You have to be merciful with yourself as well. And that's a way to take care of yourself.
Especially when things get difficult and you start to have more cluttered mind, more anxiety. Give yourself a break. It doesn't have to be so productive all the time. I have learned this in the past weeks now, that it's okay to be unproductive. You can, or I suggest that you set yourself some daily little goals. For example, I don't know, cook today or go to gym today, something like that, but not as crazy as when you were feeling amazing, because the fact is that you could do that today, but tomorrow you will feel so overwhelmed because you pushed too far.
Also, what I find very useful is that you can focus on different things little by little. It's not that you have to become a superhero in anything and rush and you overwhelm yourself with the things you do because you have to take care of yourself. Self-care is a journey, and it's a slow journey, and it's a loving journey that cannot be rushed. That's why it's super important to just have small things little by little and let them grow into habits.
So here we gave you 10 tips, therefore we didn't want to tell you that these are 10 habits you need to start. These are just 10 ideas what you can, pick the ones that you like. You don't have to do everything immediately.
One challenge during uncertain times and difficult times is certainly related with find peacefulness inside of yourself. And we believe that finding peacefulness is one of the key factors to self-care. If you're curious, check that video out.
Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself and
stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey.